Hello, family. Pastor George here, your pastor of stewardship, finance, and community engagement. We had so much information last time in the area of getting in the entertainment industry. We brought Dino back. You don't want to miss this? Don't go anywhere. Hello, family. I am so excited about this episode of Set for Life. I've wanted to have this gentleman come on here for quite some time. He's a writer, he's an actor, and a producer. I'd read his whole bio, but you know what? It'd take 2 pages. So we're just going to have you just give a hand to Dino Shortè. How you doing, Dino?
I'm fine. Thank you very much for having me.
Okay, good. See, he's starting off all mellow, but don't worry about that. We're going to get the ins and outs today and everything about Dino and all the things that he's doing. And just want to let you know it's a blessing having you here. I want to ask you how you feel when you have your skill and then you see people utilizing it for God. Like it just feels better. But how are you seeing that when you're like when the East or when you're producing?
It just makes me very happy to see people that I know. I mean, all of us like to see, I know that person on television or whatever, whether it's sports or entertainment. But when you know someone that's been in the trenches with you as far as your faith is concerned and has, prayed with you and gotten you over rough moments, and you see that person being successful in anything, whether it's the medical field or police work or television, it causes you to have not only a swelling of pride within you for that person, but it also, it kind of, you can feel your faith in you quicken a little, it gets more, solid and it's an unbreakable kind of solid. It won't melt away with life's ups and downs because you've seen it, you know it can happen, and you always continue to have the faith in that it can happen, not only for you, but for others.
Right. And it's something awesome about serving together.
Absolutely.
But when you're serving together, because you just feel different. Like whenever I'm on the sets and when they give me the little role, when they give me the roles, I'm like, I'm here with professionals.
Hey.
And it gets over the aspect of it. And then you look at here at the church, like how we have camera people, like you have camera people, audio people, all the things. It's all everyone's serving for a common purpose to glorify God. And
Absolutely.
I ask anybody that if you want to do that or be involved, you can also email us, or you can also just let us know, also not only in the chat, but also just connect us at faithfulcentral.com to get more information about the repertory.
Absolutely.
The different things that will be coming, not only in September, but just coming down the road and doing it.
September is a restarting of what we had to put on hold during the pandemic. We're going to trust and have faith in God that God is going to do what God is going to do, and we're going to continue moving forward. And please know, it's not just people in front of the camera.
Right.
The people you never see are the people that this industry cannot survive without. Your sound people, your editors, your cameramen and women. They are the backbone of what makes a show successful or not. Otherwise, it's just 2 guys in a room yik-yakking with each other, and it's nothing. But, your camera crew here, you got like 300 people in here right now. They're very quiet, and some of them are nice, and some of them are, not.
Yeah,
but
some of them we praying for right
we
now.
pray for constantly, but God loved them all. And if anyone is looking for me later, tell my mother I love her. I've angered a camera person. But it's so much. The entertainment industry is huge. It's just like the medical field. You don't have to be just a doctor. You can be a radiologist, an anesthesiologist. It's a huge thing.
Right. And so interesting that you bring this up, because now you guys, I want to talk to you guys. Remember, we talked about time. We talked about talent. Then we're not talking about temple today, but now we're going to talk about treasure. We're going to talk about finances, okay?
Yes.
So financially, this is another thing. Let me tell you another misnomer that people think. I think people think that you got to be in front of the camera to make money or get paid.
Absolutely not.
So they said.
God, no.
So you always hear when Dolly Parton one time they would say, Whitney Houston singing, "I will always love you." What do you think about it? Dolly Parton looked back and said, girl, go out there and sing that
every
song.
time she
Because every time she sings, right.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Dolly Parton wrote that song.
Right, and Babyface wrote up for all them.
Exactly.
So yes, go ahead.
There are tons of things.
Tons.
When you talk about television shows, all of them, I don't care what the show is, they all have the same components. People in front of the camera, people behind the camera. Okay, television shows don't last forever. There'll be a show that's been popular for 5 years that, for whatever reason, the show comes to an end. The people in front of the camera are normally the ones that are instantly out of work. If they don't have a job lined up already, they instantly have to go on the hustle. Unless they've made so much money working on their show, they can afford to just relax for a minute or two. But it's the people that are behind the camera. First of all, they get all the information before anyone. Oh, what? They gonna shut the show down? Okay, well, let me get on this other show before this one go. I've never known a cameraman in the history of everything I've ever done who has not. They work because they work when they want to, and if they're not working, it's because I'm gonna take a year off, or I don't want to go on that show. I mean, they are highly successful. The first editor I ever really worked with in my life was this very, very young guy. He may have been 22, and he was a brilliant editor. And the reason why he sticks out in my mind, his name was Chris. The reason why he sticks out in my mind is because for a full week, we used to park next to each other, and every day he brought a different vehicle. He was like 22. And I mean, these were paid for vehicles. And one of the greatest cameramen I ever met was another guy named Eric. I won't say his last name, but Eric, black man, young. He was buying property in the 80s before people were, before that was like, ooh, let me go get a house. He was like, nah, land is life. I was like, oh, okay, Chris. And he was on camera. He knew how to do cameras. He was one of the first people that knew how to work a jib. I mean, it's so much stuff that you can do. Our hair and makeup people, they are fantastic. They're choreographers, craft services. There are people who are buying houses based on bringing good fried chicken to the set.
Right.
After, in between.
Right. Can I jump in here and
yeah,
keep going?
You're
coming right back. You come right back at that.
Sorry, brother.
So, guys, no, it's all right. I know it's my show.
I'm sorry, Pastor George. I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Pastor George.
All right. These people, 300 people. I got 300 people back there. I got 300 people back there.
Blink if you're in trouble.
I forgot what I was going to say, but I remember now.
Sorry.
So when about people behind the scenes and making money. So first of all, you guys, for those who don't know, I'm a financial advisor, and I have clients that are editors, and they tell me but when they work, like this guy, like they work 20 hours. I said,
yes.
This is the movie premiere, the
yes.
this, and we're cutting the scenes. These audio guys that bring the sound.
Work.
By the way, and what they do. But let me tell you ones I didn't even know. First of all, you guys know, and by the way, I'm love being a dad. I'm a nice guy and everything like this. So my kids were born. One of the things I wanted to do was get them working. So to have a child work below 5 years old, I don't know what age, I got them work permits when they were about
there are
8.
laws.
Yeah, there are laws. And I said, can't have people work.
Ireland in the 20s was doing.
Yeah, man. The kid was 18 months old, right? I go down there, I'm like this, can I go down the set and get him a job? They're like, you got to get a work permit. I'm like, hey, 18 months. He already walking.
Oh, God.
So anyway, I get him a work permit, right?
Yes.
I'm down the set with the twins. This lady goes like this, hey, I want to make sure everybody's in here having a good time. And the term is wrangler. So she's wrangling the kids, and then she picks up my son, then they're talking to him. Then this other lady, they start shooting the show. And then my other son is standing there. Then it's kind of keeping the kids around. Then she's just sending the kids back and forth and everything like that. Then we get ready to leave. We already get out of the car. She left in the car. The same thing. There's like a job literally for everything. And then back to the catering is we knew people that were retired from AT&T. Sorry, I mentioned, I don't know if they're still AT&T. They said they cook food and bring it to sets and different things. And I said, well, what do you know you cook? They said they actually tell me that they said they just like my fried chicken and they bring it over. And they said they have to get a kitchen. Now they're trying to hire someone else to show them how to cook the food. So if you got a
chicken salad sandwich recipe, you may want to try to get that on somebody's set, especially, or kale. Kale is big now. Think about kale. Kale is popular. It'll be around for a little while longer. So if you got a kale recipe with kale chitlin blended shake, I'm sure that'll go over well on like The Talk or The View or, you know, one of the medical shows. So think about it. It's just a lot of things out there that can be. The point is, we're clowning, but the point is, there is so much. It's a world of opportunity out there, and I'm always pleased when I see people of color working around me. And when I say people of color, I don't mean just black folks. I mean people of color, Asians, Hispanics, Persians,
Right.
Greeks, Italian, whatever, because that shows you that there's a world out there for us, you know. And yeah, we may have to work a little harder, but that's how we built to work harder, right? Can I get a what? I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay.
You can edit that out. I'm sorry. I apologize. I got a little.
No, it's all right.
My
300 people jumped up and
I saw them coming toward the stage. I'm sweet God. No.
Right.
So silly.
So what we learned is that there's more than being in front of the camera.
Absolutely.
So let's look at, whatever area people are gifted in, look at different areas.
Please.
And then, hey, can you tell me how someone just starts? Like, because I know people that just like literally, like I know guys that were like, I've been to, you know, just a few times.
Sure.
Like, and they'll tell me this. They'll be like holding the cable one year, and then like a couple years later, then they standing behind, pointing at everybody.
Absolutely. You know, apprenticeships are a great thing, a great studio mechanism. Sometimes it's hard to become an apprentice to a camera person or a hair and makeup person, but you can always get on shows or break in as quote unquote an extra. There are literally companies who hire out extras for all these different types of television shows. And that's how I started my acting career, as an extra. I was an extra on a show called Dancing in September. It was an HBO movie with, God, I can't even remember everyone's name. I think Blair Underwood and a couple of other very popular people. And because as an extra, I knew to be on time, to not be a problem, I began to become the popular extra. And pretty soon I had lines in the show. That's how a lot of it happens. And again, there is no one way to break into the entertainment business. You know, it's not like you can only be a doctor if you go to school for 4 years, then another 4 years, do something for 4 years. That's not how the entertainment industry works. I know presidents of major networks who started their entertainment career as parking lot attendants. That is the honest truth. I'm just glad
you're saying that, because I think that everybody has this thing where they're just going to get a whole bunch of views, they think, on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and then they say they're just going to walk on the set and everything's just going to be.
No, it does not work that way. Unfortunately, there are some people who are gaining a certain level of success who have come directly from TikTok and YouTube. But the reason why they're gaining that success is because they had something called content. They were
the C word.
Yes, you got to have the content. You got to have something that's entertaining and resonates with people, so that when you're given an opportunity or you get an audition, however you are on your TikTok comes across in the audition. That's one way to go. And I'm not.
And there's something unique about, like, well, they pick something. You know what I mean? I'm not going to like different guys, like different men and women that I've seen that have done it. They did something, and then everybody got cool. And then they kind of started watching. They started watching and developed fun, and they typically have a very specific.
All of them have a specific thing that they do. There's this one gentleman. He has a thing where he has a microphone, glasses, and he wears a robe, and he just sings a song loudly, and it's everybody's wake-up call. Now this guy has 2 national commercials. There's another African-American guy. He has a very fierce demeanor. Like he looks as though, like, almost demon-like. And you click on his TikTok and he says right in the camera, "Hey, let me tell you something. Right. You a good person." He's very encouraging. He's very encouraging. Like, he boosts you up. Right. He has 3 national commercials, 3 different types of national commercials. Okay. So, I mean, there are ways to do it. There is no one way to break into the entertainment industry, but you have to be committed. And just because something may seem easy to break into, it is not. If it looks easy to you, it's because there are 50 million people ahead of you who have laid the way for it to look easy to you.
All right. Hey, so can we talk about just currently what you're doing right now? But you guys, and we're learning.
Sure.
So right now, can you tell us a little bit about the Upshaws? Just kind of what your roles on kind of.
I have the privilege and honor to be one of the part of a team of writers for a highly successful Black sitcom on Netflix called The Upshaws. It stars Mike Epps, Kim Fields, and the incomparable Wanda Sykes. It's about a real African-American family in Indiana going through what families go through, not Black families, not white families, not Hispanic families, what families go through. Problematic kids outside of marriage, can't pay the bills, relatives not getting along, and how they all manage to deal with it in a humorous and uplifting manner, just like most of our families. We've all been through horrible stuff, but we all can look back on a time when at the moment we thought it was the worst thing in the world that happened, but now we can laugh at it. Right. So that's what The Upshaws is basically. We find the humor in real life situations. Not that we take real life situations lightly, but again, done the right way, there can be humor in everything.
Right. So did you know, at what point did you think this was going to be a hit, or you just knew from the...
Hey, man, let me tell you something. You never know if anything is going to be a hit. You really don't. I've worked on shows where people have popped champagne and been, already put down money on that new car, and it never flew. And I've been on shows where I was on them for 2 seconds with a very, very small part, and it blew up, and next thing you know, I got a fat check. So you never know what's going to be a success, but you always know that you can do your best and do the job that I think the young people today are calling it, you do the assignment. Is that it? You knew the assignment he knew his assignment. So when I go in, I know my assignment.
And then I guess it was lit, I guess.
It may have been lit or on fire. Fire, is it on fire or fire? That was 4. Is it fire or 4? Anyway,
on where you are
you get my gist. You
right.
know.
But what you're really learning, though, is that you just keep since we're talking fires, keep your irons in the fire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you just keep working them.
You have to keep working, but you have to keep working. And this is where it gets a little iffy for some people, because everyone in the entertainment industry wants to work and work more, but all jobs aren't good jobs. So just as you have the ability to say yes, you also have to develop the ability to say no, even when it's something that, if I do this, I'm going to make a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. It may not be for you.
What have you said? What's something that you said no to that now you're...
As an actor, I've never acquiesced to playing a role of a drug dealer or something that has a negative connotation across the board for Black men. I have played a slave, but it was a period piece about slavery. So I couldn't take the check and be like, well, I don't think, I should be picking up you playing a slave, bend over, pick up the cotton bale and get out of here.
Right, that's right.
But, just to have the gratuitous cutting down of any race of people, whether it's Black or Asian or whatever, that's not my thing, and it never has been. I won't do that kind of stuff. I've played crackheads, and this is back when I thought I could act 108 years ago, not recently. So, if I were to act now, I'd just be playing an overweight guy with bad vision. I think I could nail that.
Okay.
But, back in the day, I was like, no, I don't do certain things, because I don't believe in tearing down people for the sake of any show. Just be truthful. Right. Just be truthful. People always wanted to portray, in the 70s and 80s, they wanted to portray the crack epidemic as just a Black thing, when we all know it wasn't.
Right.
So, every crackhead wasn't Black. Right. Come on now.
Yeah, I mean, New Jack City came out. That was like.
Oh wow, we didn't know this about the black race. Well, you know, it said New Jack City, not all Jack City. So, I'm sorry. I get that's been my thing. I also wouldn't do gratuitous sex.
Right.
You know, for the sake of, you know, we need something to spice this scene up. Hey, why don't you guys take your shorts off? Where are you going, Dino? I'm going, bye. It's not for me, sir. First of all, I don't believe in that. And secondly, have you seen my stomach? I'm holding it in now. I can't just take it. No, we can't do that.
Right, and then they probably, probably your wife.
Yeah, oh God, my lovely wife. My lovely, beautiful wife I do not deserve, which she knows, but you know, hey.
And just so you know, also back to the Dino meter. You know who my meter is? Your wife, the Diane. If she laughs, if you guys haven't seen her,
let's be honest. My wife has a very unique
that's
laugh.
A good word.
She has a very unique laugh, right? But my wife will laugh at anything, anything. Clouds, flowers. You know, she's just a laugher. She's born to have a good time and, you know, just be fun all the time, which is why most comics love her to be in the room, because she will not laugh at the success of the joke. She will laugh at what she knows you were trying to do.
Like when we were, during the pandemic, we ran Comedy Cafe online. We could hear her through their mic on the stage.
My wife, yes. She's a very wonderful, you know, I can't, and that's the thing, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I can't have too many conversations about my wife, because when you talk about the blessings that God has given you, hey, I will tear up in a minute, unashamedly so, because my wife has saved me on a lot of different occasions.
And even on your whole resume, it even says that you were even a producer on Love, Ladies Operating Very Effectively.
Yes, that is my wife's show, Ladies Operating Very Effectively, where she honors the ordinary, extraordinary women that often goes unlooked in our American society. We all love the stars and the singers and the wonderful athletes, but my wife created a show that honors the teachers and the nurses and just the stay-at-home moms or the single moms who don't stay at home and go out and, you know, bringing home the bacon for her family, and the good female friend who always has a sympathetic ear.
Right.
She honors and not just black women, she honors women and a few men occasionally. So yeah, it's a very wonderful thing that she does with that show.
She honors them, and that is literally awesome.
Hey,
I just got last few questions. Hey, can you tell us a little bit about how you do in the area producing and everything like that?
Producing is a different animal. You know, the cool thing about the entertainment business, especially as a writer, if you have success on the show, you move up in rank. So you can start as a staff writer, then the next season you'll be like, you know, a story editor, then executive story editor, then producer, you know, co-producer, then executive producer. So it's a title that's bestowed on you. But if you want to be a producer, I must say producers produce, meaning you can't just do it in name only. If there's a problem with the show that needs solving, you have to produce the answer to solve that problem, whatever it means, or you have to be a part of the problem-solving team. That's what producers do. They keep shows on. They keep shows flowing smoothly. They do the hiring and the firing, and they put together teams that they think will make a show successful. It's a very difficult job to do, and there are no easy jobs in entertainment. Let me just get that straight. I don't care if you're pushing the broom. It's hard to do, because sometimes it can be thankless work. But producers, you're moving up when you're able to produce. And fortunately, I've been doing this long enough to figure out, if I don't know how to do something, I can find out how to do it and get someone to do it. Turns out that's what producing is. So
and that's why I bring that up, because I think you're gifted in that area for a couple of reasons. I think the way that you, number one, how you talk to people and you get the best out of them.
How I talk to people?
Yes, actually, how you talk to people when you're doing it.
Really?
Actually, yes.
Well, all right. Okay. Our phone lines are blowing up right now. Hello. What do you mean how he talking to me?
He's been cussing them out. But the way, and then I'll be serious here for a minute. The way that you use humor, and then for those of you who don't know, Dino has a funny side, as you see, and he has a serious side. You actually are one of the people that can actually, if you look at athletes that do it, you can actually turn it on off. He moves very well in that area.
Well, yeah.
So you can just receive that, but you can make a joke about using funny side. But you actually do have that from all the time we talked, because there's been now so he don't deny it anymore. I've talked to him before the Comedy Cafe, and I've been that when he's been funny, and then I've also talked to him in Bishop's office where he's a little more serious.
Yes, a little bit.
Bit. I've seen both sides.
More serious.
and what the deliverals are going to be, and when they're going to be delivered.
Tell you what we gonna do and what we not gonna do.
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
He ain't done that yet in there. So
well,
in doing that,
Bishop, I've tried to emulate Bishop a lot in my dealings with people, because he has, Bishop is hilarious. Yeah. Bishop is hilarious. Like, oh God, I'm glad he's not doing comedy, because I would never get no work. But he also has a straightforward business serious side that has such a strong level of gravitas to it. It makes it shakes you. And then when he preaches, it's like, okay, well, all right then. I gotta be a Christian, because I can't miss this. He know what he talking about. I might get to heaven. Listen to Bishop.
This was a blessing. Hey, family, I pray that you enjoyed this meeting. What we want to really cover is we want to also cover about what it's like being not only behind the camera, but also on the other side of the camera, from a writer, someone that's done this, someone that's worked through it. And there are so many nuggets. I pray that I want every person to give me a high five. That means think of 5 people that you can forward this to, and that are talking about being in the industry, thinking about being in the industry, or if you'd like more information in that area, that they would also be able to utilize this as a tool. Hey, can you shout them out in the chat? Dino Shortè.
Netflix, streaming now, season 2, The Upshaws. Please watch it. I would love a season 3. Thanks.
Everybody, be a team player. We'll see you on our next episode of Set for Life, where we live by design, not by default.